Hey guys, this is Rock King 3 again, bringing you part 2 of an in-depth review of Call of Duty Ghosts with Moneyman 300. In this second part, we're going to be covering game types, including multiplayer, squads, and extinction as well. Give you some details around some of the new multiplayer game types, and kind of dive into, with a little bit of detail, into the squads and extinction as well. It's a nice review. If you have any questions or comments, put that below, and we'll get back to you. Thanks a lot for listening.
I think so. Let's dive into let's dive into game types.
Okay, hey guys.
Getting into there, talk a little bit about the game types that are in here.
So I'll go ahead and start
go
off
ahead
on
and
this
start.
one if you don't mind. So with the new
Yeah,
game
go ahead.
types, obviously there's a lot of old games that we enjoyed that are gone, and now there's a lot of new games in that we are just learning and finding out whether we like it or not. I'm actually going to bring up my list here. So the games that we retained was Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirm, Domination, Free for All. Those are the games that we retain, and I think those are very popular games, and I have a lot of fun with those. The new games are going to be Cranked, Blitz, Search and Rescue, Infected. I'm gonna call that a new game type, even though they kind of had that in the old one, and then Hunted. And I haven't played Hunted yet, but I have played all the other ones, and I like the new mix. This kind of gave it, to me anyway, a good fresh feel as far as a new list of games to play. And then we're also going to touch on in this topic with the squads and the extinction modes as well. But I think first we want to tackle the multiplayer. So what have you been playing mostly right now?
I like the new game types. I haven't really played much Hunted, so I can't comment a lot on that. Domination I've been playing. I actually am disappointed a little bit in the lack of objective game types. Spawn-based objective game types. There really isn't much to play. You either play Domination or you play Blitz, and that's it. Since there is no demo anymore, there's no hardcore or headquarters, there's no CTF, there's no hardpoint. Those were all other modes that, if you got tired of playing Domination, which you do after a while, you could go play something else. That doesn't exist here. So I really hope that they give some consideration to adding some other objective game types in there, and I think they can, and maybe they just want you to get a feel for these. But I am disappointed that there isn't more variety in here that you can go play. I didn't play a lot of headquarters, but I enjoyed jumping in and playing some headquarters to change it up a little bit. Same thing with demo, and I know you were a big demo player.
Yep.
That was your number one game type, and that's gone from here.
It is.
I think demo really could work in this, but so I'm a little disappointed in that. I do like the new game types though that they have added. I like Cranked. I play it quite a bit. I like it because it's really a fast-paced team deathmatch. You can get in if you don't have a lot of time to play. You just want to get a few games in. You can get games in really quickly in that, and it's fun. It's fast-paced. Blitz I think has a ton of potential. I think that probably my favorite game mode in the game right now. Just that offense-defensive nature is fun to play out. It's hard to play by yourself, but it's fun when you get a group of people playing. Search and Rescue is a nice twist on Search and Destroy. I haven't played a lot of it yet, but it's fun. But the times I have played it, it's fun. I really like that twist on it of being able to eliminate players by taking tags and being able to revive your own players by getting their tags. So, overall, it's like a solid C for me for the game types, and that's just because I think we're missing some more objective types.
Yeah. Well, let's just go through these one at a time here real quick. I know you kind of touched on them a lot, but we'll just start at the top to the bottom. And team deathmatch is something that I never really have enjoyed, and a lot of that is because of the campers, the laying down, the sniping, and stuff like that. So honest, I think I only have a couple of games in team deathmatch, but instead I'll just talk about the next one with it. Is I've kind of replaced that game type with Cranked. So you can just take team deathmatch off the list for me because I'm playing team deathmatch as it comes to Cranked. And that's fun. I mean, I set up a strategy. I set up the specialist score streak to help along with the crank, so I get even more benefits of being cranked plus the specialist perks that I hit. What do you play between team deathmatch and cranked at this point?
Oh, Cranked. I don't think I've played a single game of team deathmatch, and
Oh.
I'm just not a big team deathmatch player. I actually played a little bit of it in Black Ops 2, just because the maps I think cater to it pretty well. But I agree with everything you said about Cranked. I set up the same thing. Yeah, if you're not using specialists with Crank, try it out. I mean, you get super soldiered up pretty quickly. Get 2 or 3 kills in a row. It's it's just a fun, fast-paced game type.
And you talked on Blitz, and I like Blitz a lot. Now, I have a caveat to that. Blitz is really fun. That is a very difficult solo game to play. If you have at minimum one friend, and if you have more friends, even the better, because then you actually have a defense set up, plus you have people running offense. Solo, it is just, it's random. Who knows? You might have 5 other players that go for it, or you might have 5 players that stay back in defense, and you're the sole guy. And unless you're communicating with them, it's really difficult. I've played where nobody plays defense, and they just score as fast as they can. I don't know if that's what you see as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I get in every lobby. I play by myself, so I'm the lone guy trying to play defense to give ourselves a chance to win.
Yeah, I saw our stats, and it looks like you defend a lot more than I do. So, Search and Rescue, you and I have played a couple times together. I think that's a really good game type. I think that I was never a big Search and Destroy fan anyway, but I think this is even just a little bit better than what it was, because it really is. It's a Search and Rescue versus Search and Run Around, which it was before, instead of Destroy, because nobody ever destroyed the point. So I really like this. How you have to play with your team, how if your guy gets, you can get your tags, get their tags. Sometimes you have to leave their tags. It's very strategic, and I like this a lot. It's a good kill confirm, search and destroy, all put together. I like it.
Yeah, no, I can't add much to that. I'm an old school search and destroy player. That's where my roots are. The original Call of Duty, that was really the only game type that you played, was search and destroy. But this is a great take on it.
Cool. Yeah, and I haven't played Infected at all, and I know Kill Confirm's a really good solo game you can play. Go test things out. Another team deathmatch. Haven't played a lot of it. Have you played much of it?
I played some Infected just to see. It's a not very good version of the modern. It was actually pretty fun in Modern Warfare 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there were more players. It was 16 players in Modern Warfare 3. So take these maps that are a little bit larger and now put like 12 players on it with Infected, and let me know how fun that sounds. And you don't have different guns every time. It's always the same gun. You have the Bulldog. That's it. So it gets really boring and really repetitive really fast. I'm not sure even why this thing's in the playlist, to be honest with you. It's not very good. If you haven't played it, don't bother.
Kill Confirmed?
I haven't played it at all, really. It's interesting. I like Kill Confirmed. I've kind of replaced that with Cranked, I guess. Before, when I wanted to just get in and play some team deathmatch type of play, I would play Kill Confirmed, but now that Crank's there, I've kind of, that time that I use playing less objective game type, I've done in Crank, so I guess I'm sure I'll get into it, but I don't think I've played a single game yet.
Okay, and then the rest of the list for me is pretty much a no-go except for the Domination. I know you're a huge Domination player. How are you feeling? Is it getting stale for you, or how's that going?
Actually, some of these maps play really good, and Domination got stale for me in Black Ops 2 because of the way that game played. The maps, the SMG dominated, the quick scoping, the LMG smoke, target finder, it just made Domination just awful. I think it has a chance to make a resurgence here, though. I've actually really enjoyed Domination on some of these maps because it plays out a little bit more methodical. Instead of just this complete chaos all the time. So I like the methodical nature of the way Domination played back in Call of Duty 4, and I get some of that feel here, except the spawns are a mess. So if they can get the spawns figured out, I think Domination has a chance for me to really make a comeback in it, and there's been some of the games I've really enjoyed. It's more of that gameplay of taking 2 points and hanging on to them.
Oh, that's
exactly
what I was going to say.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was going to say. This is more of a grab and hold versus, and keep your back point, keep the B point, or whatever that middle point is, or whatever the 2 points are. It doesn't have to be A or B, but it's that, like you said, it's more strategic. You take it, and now you find a way to defend it versus, hey, let's run to A, and then let's run to B, and then let's run to C, and then let's just do it all over again. Black Ops 2 is just chaos, and I like this a little bit slower. It plays slower because of that, I think, because you're defending. It's not so easy to take things. The other thing that I noticed is you take the point, like if somebody else has the point, you take the point, and then it makes it a neutral flag, which if you get killed, then when you go in for the neutral flag, it captures it faster. So if someone comes in, takes your flag halfway, you kill them, it turns it to white. Now you have to jump on it, but now it's quicker because it's a neutral flag. Now if you're completely taking over a flag that's on the other team, it takes a lot longer to take it back. I don't know if you noticed that, but I like that little bit of strategy to it.
Yeah, that's that's an interesting point. I like that aspect. It also tells you on the map if they're capturing the flag now. Like it'll say enemy cap. I don't know if it says enemy capturing, but I think it says capturing, right? And it turns yellow on there, so you don't have to wait for the announcer that may or may not ever say if they're taking the flag or not, or you may or may not notice it is blinking on the map, or they may say that they're taking it after they already took it. You see it right away. So I kind of like that. I mean, it makes it easier for players. Which I think is a good thing. Anything to help my random teammates know that the enemy's taking a flag is a good thing.
Yeah, and you just
I might have some chance that they'll actually go defend it.
Yeah, and you just spawned something for me too. Now, if you remember Black Ops 2, somebody was always talking. They're taking a point, they're doing this, and they got behind. And in this game, when someone's taking a point, you notice someone's taking the point. You hear somebody's taking a point because they're not talking all the time and behind. I noticed that that's more in sync. So you know when something's getting taken from you or somebody's, trying to get an objective from you. I know that's probably a subject for way back on the general overview of the game, but part of Domination, I'm really liking the small adjustments they made to it.
Yeah, I agree. And another thing to point out, it's not round based. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I didn't mind the round based, but it seemed to interrupt the flow of the game a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you can have great comeback wins in Domination sometimes, or at least you used to be able to.
Yeah.
It kind of took that. Black Ops 2 kind of took that away by going round based. You get down 100 to 50 and you lost the round. Whereas when you're going to 200, you're down 150. You're still, trying to gather, trying to flip the map on them, trying to, get map control, re-get control of 2 points, make a big run. It kind of took that part of the excitement out of it. So I think I like the non-round based Domination better.
And you hit on it too. Interruptions too. That was a good time for people to quit out of the game if you're losing. And just that interruption of scoreboard watching just in that mid game. That is, I like it better. Just the flow. Just play it through.
Yeah, so I think we both agree. Domination is better now than at least than it was in Black Ops 2. Maybe Modern Warfare 3 also.
So I know another piece that's really important to you is the esports that we did in Black Ops 2. I know that's a little bit lacking in this.
Yeah, you notice there's no league here. That's a big deal for me. I really liked League in Black Ops 2. I liked being able to, I follow the esports and I'll watch their live streams when I get a chance when I'm not too busy. Follow the tournaments a little bit. I really enjoy watching how good those players are and watching how they play the maps and the setups that they use, and then being able to go into the game, into League, and play exactly what they're playing with the same rules and the same setups. Just not nearly as well, but it was still fun to go out there and do that. Same call outs and everything. You really learned a lot about how they play the game competitively by actually going and doing it yourself in that League play. Well, now that's not here. I really and it's fixable. Maybe they'll put it in. I don't know. I don't know if they put the whole League system in. I really enjoyed the League and the ranking up and trying to get to Master, or me trying to get to Platinum. Never made it above Platinum, but that's okay. I never played it long enough. That's what I'm going to say. I'd play the first week of League and then wait for the next season. But, no, and I think as a whole, I've been following the esports community. As a whole, they're nervous. I think I'd put that, gauge their feelings as nervous about the support they're going to get from Infinity Ward. They got nothing in Modern Warfare 3. They couldn't even put the game on the circuit because they just wouldn't fix it to the point that you could even play a LAN tournament very easily in that. And then contrast that with what they did with Black Ops 2, where they just went all in, codcasting mode, and everything they could do to support the League play, everything they could do to help that competitive community. And now you get this game, and then it's lacking in that competitive side again. Now it sounds like Infinity Ward has already patched it once to add some things that they needed in there. They're going to add Search and Destroy back into the main playlist, which is a primary mode for the competitive guys. And they're adding the Codcaster mode back in a patch that's upcoming. So I think it's a good sign that they're doing some of those things for those guys. It's a sign that at least they care. MLG also already announced in partnership with Activision that they're going to have Ghosts on the MLG circuit this year, which is good. That means they're going to have to support it at least for this year. But I'd really like to see League or some sort of League-like come back. I know that there's this clan battles in here, but if you notice, you go in there, you can't go in there and play that by yourself. You have to have a full 4v4. and I'm not a big fan of that. I'd like to be able to go in there as a solo and play a competitive rule set.
Yeah, Team Tactical is not a replacement for what we had in Black Ops 2. And I think overall esports has a really good potential. I mean, you see how popular it was, how many people go to those events, and it was just growing. And I think it's something they just cannot ignore. I mean, is this something that we're going to see eventually in 5 years on ESPN, like World Series of Poker? It very well may be, but if they don't get on the ball here and support those communities, like you said, it's going to die every other year, and it's going to have a slower growth potential than it could have if they would just support it and get on the bandwagon, help these guys get what they need to broadcast it, make it happen, and make some competitive games.
I agree. I agree, and allow us amateur players and prospective. So some of these kids coming up, prospective pros, leagues was a great place for them to go.
Yep.
To get better skills, to learn the competitive way of playing. They don't have to go to game battles and do it. They could do it right inside the game, and I think that all by itself could help grow the competitive community even further. So I really hope they go all in with the support on this, and it looks like they're doing some support, and we'll just see where they end up.
So talking about game types, we cannot forget the new game types they have out there, squads and extinction. And you and I played a little bit of both of those. And squads is kind of a new play on what it used to be called in Modern Warfare 3.
Was that something Operation
Spec Ops? Yeah, Spec Ops. And extinction is basically, do you just call it zombies, or I don't know?
Yeah,
it's similar.
Yeah, it's zombies. I mean, it's the zombies. Infinity Ward's version of zombies.
Sure. And you and I have played a little bit of both, and I've played squads. We've played it as teammates versus another squad, just AIs, and I've played solo against your squad and against other friend squads, and just random squads as well, just to kind of play around with a little bit. And to me, squads, I think, is a really fun way to play what Spec Ops was. I think it's played out a lot better. The AI in this game, we probably couldn't stop talking about the AI in this game, but the AI is so much better, whether it's a dog or a person or in the zombies mode, extinction mode. The AI is just so much better, so much more random, a lot more enjoyable to play.
I agree. Yeah, the AI, something on that. What they've done with the AI, and this is pretty phenomenal. I mean, these players move and act like you're playing against other humans.
Yeah, I've been drop shotted. I've had people lean around the corner.
Yeah, I've had guys strafe, slide. Oh, slide. You know what? I didn't touch on slide in the beginning. I love sliding. Man, that is the best new mechanic ever put into a game. I could just slide all over the map. Nothing better on Blitz scoring and sliding right into it. It's awesome.
So,
thank you, Infinity Ward.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, get off track. But the AI, if you go into a game, go to a local play game, because in local play you can change the level of the bots, veteran, regular, whatever they are. Put them on veteran and play a game that you're familiar with, like Domination. And man, so if you did that in the previous titles, put the bots on veteran. I mean, they were some wall hacking cheats that just stood around and never missed a shot. Right? You put them on veteran in this, and it feels like you're just playing other good players. Right? It doesn't feel like they're cheating. It just feels that it ramps up, almost instead of ramping up their shot, it ramps up their intelligence and how they play the game and how they work together. And I played a game of Domination and on like Octane or something, and I put them on there, and I could have swore I was playing a regular multiplayer game. So big props to Infinity Ward on the AI. This is as well done as I've ever seen AI in a game mode like this.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that too. And I even had an experience last night that was pretty interesting. I was playing one of my friends' squad teams, and I was playing Blitz. And there was a guy by the defensive point that was defending their point. I was trying to attack and score, and he was in the trash can. He was down just so you could see his head and his gun, and he shot me before I entered. And I'm like, and I wanted to get frustrated with it. I'm like, I know somebody that would do that. They would get in the trash can, camp there, wait for you to walk by, and that's exactly what he did. I'm like, this is playing like real people. It really was.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to watch them do things. When they start strafing and things, it throws me off because I'm just not used to the AI doing things that other players would do, and it always gets me killed. One game mode I want to point out, they have, I can go down them, one by one, squad assault. That's just going in, have your friends come in, and it randomly matches you up with other squads. Squad v squad, you're going one-on-one with a friend, your squad versus their squad. These are okay. You can go in and just play around. I think it's good for especially newer players to get in there and play with those. Safeguard, though, I want to point out, Safeguard to me is a lot of fun. They really did a good job with this, and they got 3 different modes in there where you can go a 20 wave mode, a 40 wave, and then just unlimited. They really could have just done unlimited with it. But I really like. There's some nuances in the game. There's things that you actually have to kind of figure out a little bit of how different things work. You get objectives that as a team that you have to complete to get like a power weapon, and then you get these drops every once in a while of kill streaks, and really well done. And it's if you haven't played it, take 2-3 of your friends in there and play it, because it really is a lot of fun.
And this is kind of like the Spec Ops of the old, where you just have the waves coming, but again, like you're saying, it's just done way better. Teamwork is so much better. You don't have those. I like the airdrops. I don't like those set points where you have to go back to that box. Even though you don't want to be in that area, you got to go back to that box and find your weapon from the Spec Ops. Now they have random drops all over the place, and they have different type of drops. They have weapon drops, they have perk drops, they have tacticals and stuff like that, and you can go around and collecting those in a certain amount of time. They did it really well. The streaks work that you can call in. It's just a lot of fun. And you're right. I know the reason why they did the 20 level one is because kids want to be able to play and finish a map before it's time to go to dinner or something like that. That's why they want unlimited. So it's nice that they have that in there as well.
You could go around on every map. You go on every map and see if you can get all 20 levels on every map. Also, you can rank your weapon up, which I thought was really cool. And every level you get a damage boost in your weapon. It's kind of fun you get a weapon, you stick with it throughout the all 20 levels if you happen to get that far, and rank them up and get better and better. Yeah.
One thing I'd like to encourage everybody that's listening to is go into your squad headquarters, change your game type, change your mode, make the map that you want people to play on, that you might find other people have fun playing on, because a lot of them are defaulting on very, very large maps in Team Deathmatch. I'm not saying that people don't like the big maps of Team Deathmatch, but I like a little bit smaller map, a little more action versus these AIs, making the action happen. So that's something I didn't realize off the bat, and Money told me, he said, hey, go change your map. I'm getting bored playing on whatever map it was. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to stay active with it. I'm going to continue to change it. That way when they come in, they'll want to play them. My friends will want to play my team, because it'll be a different game and map every single time.
Yeah, I agree. I did that. I think I have Domination on Warhawk.
Great map.
Favorite maps. So I think that covers squad. So I think it's a great addition. Some people are like, well, I don't know why you'd ever go in there and play it, but it actually it is fun. It is a value add to the game. I think it's going to add to the life of the game. It gives you something else to do after you've been playing multiplayer a while. If you play a lot, it can get kind of tiresome. It's a great change of pace to go in, to do something different, to take some friends in there, to play around. For new players, it's a great place for them to experience multiplayer-like combat. That's closer to the experience than really it's ever been. And then if you don't want to go there, you can always go over to Extinction. So we can jump over into that. And I know we played yesterday. It was really the first time we put any amount of time into it. And we probably might have put a couple hours into it.
We did.
I had a good time. It was fun. It's a horde, what I call a horde mode style of game. Halo has had some of that. Gears of War has had that. We kind of get waves of enemies, but you also have this objective that you're trying to do. You're trying to move from point to point and blow up these hives of alien enemies, and you have to plant this drill and then protect it until it blows up and move on to the next one. But it's a lot deeper than that, because of you actually have rankings that go in here, and you unlock different classes you can pick. You can be like a class that has health, or a weapon-based class, or an engineer, and then you get points throughout each wave that you can spend on making your abilities better. Like maybe you've chosen to be the guy that's going to deploy ammo, and you can put your points that you earn in that game towards being able to increase the ammo capacity for your entire team. Or you're the guy that does the shield. can drop blast shields, and you can get everybody blast shields. I mean, it's a very team-oriented thing in that you kind of decide before you start. Okay, I'm going to be the guy that's going to spend my money on ammo the whole time, so I can keep everybody restocked. And another guy's going to do blast shield. It's just, I think there's some. It's a lot more than just running around and shooting people. There's some coordination that happens. There's the level ups that happen. You keep leveling up in it. I think it's really well done.
Yeah, and I agree with all that you said as well, but I'd like to even go further. You know, you're talking about the teamwork. Okay, I'll take team support. You take the ammo. Where it seemed like in the old zombies, you spent a lot of time trying to find a case to change out your gun, or a box to change out your gun, or find some kind of perk. Now it's a lot more straightforward. I don't spend as much time in the menus during the game. So like I'll add my points during the game to increase the level of my pistol or whatever. But it doesn't take you away from the game. You're not so busy between rounds trying to find that box or trying to change out your weapon. You pretty much early on get what you want to have. So you have a pistol and maybe an AR and an SMG. Sometimes you can have up to 3 guns. And now you're set. Now you're just trying to level everything up as you go along. And I like that a lot better. I like having my loadout almost set for me, even after the first couple of drills that we run. That way I'm not so busy trying to find a point. You do buy a chopper at that one level, which it doesn't take you out of the game for very long. You just go up there and you just put your money in. But I like the fact that they're really focusing on the gameplay itself, not so much on every little thing that you have to do on the side. I don't know if you noticed that as well.
Yeah, I did. I think it's done. I don't know if guys that are big zombies players are gonna like this. This is different than zombies. This is a different game than zombies. I don't think you can really compare it other than, the comparison stopped and it's different than multiplayer, right? It's a waves of enemy type game type, but I think that's where the comparison stopped. For me, I like it better than zombies, but I was never a huge zombies guy. There wasn't anything wrong with it. It's just not something that grabbed me for any long period of time. And I don't know if this is going to grab me for long periods of time, but it's definitely another place, just like squads, where I can come out, jump out of multiplayer, and come in here and play this for a while, and still have that aspect of ranking up, of working together as a team, of doing all those things. Overall, I think it's really well done. And I heard there's going to be a DLC support and add-ons to this in upcoming DLC packs, which I think is a good thing also, so it doesn't get stale and you got new challenges and things that you can go for in this.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I'm just scratching the surface on that, so take my review for what it is. I still have a lot more time to put into it. I think I just looked at the leaderboard. It was like 2.5 hours, so that's not much.